What's up, all you frogs? This is Dylan James. You know me as L. Ron Humperdinck. I'm here with Political Dank House. I just done a video about how Democrats, I always say Democrats, I always say leftists. I usually say leftists because it goes back to the Jacobins and the French Revolution. These aren't your mama's Democrats type of thing. And how they will always take what's bad about them and project it onto someone else, or they'll come up with a lesser evil. And then I got to Biden, but that was about a week ago when I came up with that, something I wanted to do before I got all this equipment. And since then, I said, there's no way Biden will run. There's no way he'll run, or they'll let him run, so to speak, and be serious about it. There's just too much stuff. There's too much C-SPAN stuff on it. There's too much of him aggrandizing himself and Anita Hill and talking real loud and looking around at everybody like he's a boss. He's got this wild past of the crime bill, and he's going to have a hard time explaining why back in the day he wanted a wall or people to come in illegally to this country, and now he doesn't. And he's not going to have to explain it to conservatives, Republicans, or even people that are decently hard right like me, and not all right, just like I've said in an earlier one. I'm conservative personally, but the people that claim to be conservative have not done enough to conserve. Whatever you want to say, they haven't conserved what we think is important to keep a traditional society that runs and is moral and allows freedom. It's not gonna be the right that's gonna have to be explained to, because it doesn't matter to them. They're gonna have to explain to the left why Biden used to make those comments. Because remember with McCain, it was build the dang fence. That piece of crap. Build the dang fence. Then the right-wingers can say, hey, McCain, you can't talk shit about Trump's wall. You know why? Because you said that before. See, it was right on right, so to speak. So they're going to do that with Biden. It's going to be rough. And he said a lot of things that could be considered racist by their terms. Racist, or offensive. So there's going to be that too. I think he's going to have to fight the establishment, even though he is the most establishment guy. Because I closed with the other one. They can't have a white guy. They can't have a straight white male. Forget all the weird stuff he does with women and people when he can't keep his hands to himself, smelling his hair. They can't have a white person, not because it's of what he's done, not because of what he said. Nah, it's because they painted themselves into a corner of where white man's the enemy, right? White nationalist, Trump, all this crap, KKK, blah 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 blah, and they're the party of minorities. Come to us, we'll save you from what they think America's being taken over by now. So optically, they can't have a white head on a brown movement, not brown, but not white movement. And I mean white head in the literal sense, because Joe Biden is acne. He's pus on the skin of America. He hasn't really done anything. He's a privileged guy. To use the term privileged, I only use that on people like him that would throw it back at us. And he announced he was going to be president on video. I'd heard all this stuff like, oh, it's going to be here and there and in person in Charlottesville, and then he ended up doing the shit on video, so it was kind of sad. But I thought, open it up on Charlottesville. Man, he really is trying to molest the heartstrings of America, I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to trot Heather Heyer's mom out there and grope her shoulders while she cries and sniff her hair. Maybe, I don't even want to know. Yeah. He can go in there like his dumbass says and go, white man's country, like it's a bad thing. And then him be white. And I know people say, well, he's on the side that's okay. Yeah, but rhetoric and what side's saying it are two different things. People that look at that with no context whatsoever, or even from an outside view, are going to see him talking about white man problem, and they're going to see him as the white man. They're not going to say, "Oh, he's one of the good ones," because you've already put it in collective as a whole race, as a whole color. So you can't remove yourself from that. So he's being stupid to do that. I know he thinks it works, but that plays more into the we can't have a white guy in the DNC because they've got it to where they don't think that they're going to represent them. And so that's good because that's a strong polling candidate. People like him for some reason because he's just cool. You know, he's cool. He's with Obama. They were the dream team. Somebody like Sanders who can raise money, he's too wild for them. Back in 2016 with Trump versus Bernie, that would have been a real, shit fest. It would have been great. But they wanted to run a corporate retard like Hillary, who is entitled, doesn't think that she has to work to get anything. Well, I'm gonna become president. Same thing with Joe. Even people on the left that are his own people are saying, what is Joe, gonna offer? Nothing really. Is he just wanting to knock off that he's been president? So he's getting a lot of hate. And you know how that's going to be with the rhetoric they've got in the party now, and in their ideology that leans left. If you think in the left right, it is like the Marxist dialect of the straight white male at the top. They're gonna see him running, even if he were to win fair and square on the Democrat side to get the nomination, and then if he beat Trump, if he did, they would say, oh well, yet another straight white man using his privilege to get him to the top, with all these women and people of color and Muslims and whatever and gays, because Biden's not gay. He's taken it from all of them, like with Hillary. Trump, he took it from her. It was her turn. We had a black man, now we need a white woman, and then we can have, whatever, a Jewish unicorn. But they think, well, he's gonna have bad optics if he were to do that, so it really can't work. I think we're looking at a Kamala Harris because she's like Hillary Clinton, corporate, has some experience. It's bad experience, but it's stuff that they would like to do. Yeah, such a loser. But it would have been great to see old Biden down there in Charlottesville. Maybe he could, grope the Robert E. Lee statue and just like grope it until it ground down into like 1,000 billion little pieces of bronze and copper, and then everybody that's unaffiliated with slavery and feels like they're fighting racism by it, just attacking some inanimate object, can go, yeah, Biden, yes, everyone thinks you're dope, but us, we're freedom fighters. And you have people like me that just can't stand communism, and Lenin thinks, what a fucking loser. In Seattle, they've got a statue of him. We never talk about that. And I'm not the type of guy that, well, you're going to have it, I'm going to get that. I just want people to be consistent. I say if you don't like the Robert E. Lee statue, build something across the street from it, that rivals it. At least, I'm Christian, at least the damn Satanists will put their weird shit across from the Ten Commandments, because that's the duality of it. That's the duality of the whole thing. There's two people in this world. There's people that want to create, whether they're right or wrong, this and that. Creative, and people that want to destroy. These kids just want to be revolutionaries. They want to cover their face. They want to tear things down. I'm just going to tear something else that somebody else made. I'm not going to make something to rival as better. And that goes hand in hand with the censorship thing. I'm not going to come up with something better. I'm not going to write a better song. I'm just going to call you a homophobe, a sexist until I get the award, or I'm just going to keep you from being on the radio. But yeah, maybe Charlottesville could have been avoided if Joe Biden would have ran for president in 2016 instead. Maybe. But that's all I had to say about that. This rant is over with. Y'all keep popping to it. Don't croak. Hey guys, one last thing. I forgot to tack on to that rambling nonsense that was the Joe Biden thing. I heard someone that I was working with recently talking to someone say about Trump's tweet to Biden, good luck, hit the trail, something. It was really PG compared to what I would do. I always tell people Trump is saving you from me. And it's not really a threat, but ideologically I'm not as, libertine as him in a lot of things. but they're just crying and bitching over that. It was hit the campaign trail. Hope you can whatever this and that right. Just base level shit talk. And I just can't believe I heard this. I just can't believe there's a guy. Can't believe that Trump is just so crass. I mean, with just no decorum for the office. I mean, and I was sitting there thinking, man, you haven't really read up on LBJ, have you, man? That guy, he knew how to get the votes too. The whole welfare thing, and he's quoted saying, I'll have those niggers voting Democrat for 200 years. I mean, really? You're going to flip out over Trump saying, good luck, Sleepy Joe? And, I'm sure every president had a foul mouth, right? They talk different than they wanted to. If you want to go down that road of, well, this just isn't so presidency. My thing is, if you don't like Trump, what the hell ever. But don't be a snake to me and go, well, it's about the character. It's about decorum. It's about an office that I never really paid attention to or cared about until now. Because I'm an abrasives in there. With Obama, when he did the Obama out, and he dropped his mic, like it was so cool at the correspondence dinner. You didn't hear musicians like me going, I could have used that mic. How sloppy. He doesn't take care of anything, just like the country. Someone could have used that mic. It's just so stupid and petulant. And it's also the same type of person, this temperament, that says, we'll flip out like that, and then a week before we'll have said, Trump said this, and he called so-and-so a dog. That doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. A barbarian's going to be barbarous. And then, what did he say something this week that was one too far and it surprised you even more? You can't have both. You can't be outraged about something that you knew was going to happen. But I guess you can, but that just means that you didn't brace yourself correctly or you're just being a bitch. But it was great to hear the whole, well, just someone that's so crass. And I thought, man, I could have turned around and been like, hey, how about that, Peter Joe? You want to check C-SPAN? You really want to get woke, as they say. Just can't believe that someone's in there so callous, so crass. And I wanted to say, what are you talking about? I'm not one of those, well, they started it, because it doesn't matter to me, even when you're in it. But anybody remember anything? Trump probably said something to Biden, but, remember when Biden was out there? He said, yeah, wants to act like a real tough guy. And this was probably him seeding, reading the tea leaves and testing the crowd to see how they would take him as president, right? And he said, I'd like to take him back. Back in my day, he was talking about middle school, maybe, or something, maybe, or we'd take people like him back behind the gym. And so he said, would I went to school with him or something, I would have took him out back behind the gym. What do you think that means? They're gonna make out? You're gonna grope him, Joe? Grope him, Joe? I don't think he is gonna grope him, and I'm not like Trump. But Trump's way taller. Trump's more boorish. He would get his shit pushed in. Biden would. But what do you think that was? We're gonna go back there. I'd like to take him out back behind the gym. That could only mean a fight. And I didn't hear this person that was bitching and crying about Trump being crass and also barbaric. Fighting because you have no words to combat somebody, even if you think those words are horrible, right? Then you've already got the high ground. Why wouldn't you argue? All Biden could say, and it was just to puff his chest up because he's an arrogant prick. Look at take him out back behind the gym. He's trying to get his inner Obama out too. So I don't want to hear shit about the decorum of the office, and people don't talk like that. If I would have said that, this person probably been, well, thanks to Trump, stuff like that has been normalized, and then I could talk about LBJ, and then I'd just get I just think that a president should, and I'd go, yeah, I think people do, but you're not going to get that. I think that the world should be, hunger-free. Sorry. But I just want to add that extra on there, the 2 cents. Or, maybe even a whole quarter, 25 cents extra, how long this is. Make sure you go see your boy on Instagram, Political Dank House, dank with a Q. Political_DANQHOUSE. And you guys keep hopping to it. I'm going to try to figure this stuff out more and more as I go, but this turned out pretty cool. Let me know what you think about old Creepy Joe and taking him out back behind the gym.